Hey y'all, I'm Tiffany. This is Our Small Town Life. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is a little bit different in the sense that my typical videos are more vlog style, showing you what life looks like for our family living in a small rural Alabama town. Today's video is going to be a sit down video, but I will also say this is one of my favorite videos that I do every year. I've done this style video every year since I've been on YouTube, and I always enjoy it. I look forward to it. I enjoy watching these style videos. I get a lot of helpful information from them, and so I enjoy creating them for others. If you are a homeschool family, then I think you'll understand what I'm going to say, but creating this video feels very rewarding. Showing our curriculum for the 2025-2026 school year, it feels very rewarding. We put so much prayer, thought, attention, planning into creating an environment for learning that works for each child. What works best for our family, what works best for each child. We do so much research and trying to decide what to use, what resources to use, what curriculum to use. And then when you finalize those decisions and that new curriculum starts coming in, it feels very rewarding. So I'm excited to show you what we're going to be using. If you're a homeschool family, I hope you get some helpful information today. Maybe you're just here to hang out with me. Either way, grab you a drink, come sit down, hang out with me for a little while. We're going to go through these boxes. Very casual. I have a box from BJU Press. I have a box from christianbook.com, and I have one thing that I ordered from Amazon. I also have my planner that I'm going to be using this year, and I thought I would show that to you in this video as well. It's from Clever Fox. I actually have two Clever Fox planners that I'm going to be using this year, so I'll show you that in today's video as well. Which do we want to start with? Should we do it by subject or should we just open boxes? I think I'll open it and take it all out, and then we'll go by subject. And y'all, this year I'm going to be homeschooling a rising, is that the word we like to use? Rising 8th grader and 5th grader. I do have 5 children. My oldest, my daughter, is in public school, and then I'm homeschooling a rising 8th grader, rising 5th grader. I use those grade levels very loosely. You'll see that reflected in this curriculum. One of the many beauties of homeschooling is being able to tailor your child's education to meet their needs, to meet them where they are, whether that's moving through something a little quicker, taking a little extra time on something. And then I also have 2 little boys that when this upcoming school year starts, they will be 4 and 2. And they enjoy doing school as well, but we won't be doing anything very strict, just if they want to sit down, do some work pages, color, watch some documentaries or something with us, but nothing too strict with them. So I'm going to get this all laid out. Then I'm going to lay it out by subject, and then I'll show you what we're going to be using next year. Okay, I've got everything laid out. I will say I'm sitting in front of the window and there's a few clouds today, so if the lighting changes, I apologize, but that's just natural lighting. Okay, let's get started. I'll start with handwriting. Hudson, so if I say Hudson or Huddy, I'm referring to my 5th grader, and Easton is my 8th grader. Hudson is going to use BJU Handwriting 4. When we started BJU many years ago, I looked at how the handwriting was laid out, and I knew I wanted him to start cursive in 4th grade. And that's in their level 3 book. So we started him so that that's the way this would fall. Easton has already completed all of the BJU handwriting books, so I'll show you what I'm going to use with him. But this year, Hudson is moving up to the number 4 book, and I have the book and the teacher book. And I'll tell you, he, most of the time, can just get this and do the work page. Don't always grab for this teacher book, but it is nice to have it. So that's what he's going to be doing, and we love BJU handwriting. Love, love, love. It teaches a pre-cursive style handwriting in those early grade levels, and that transitions beautifully into cursive, and made that transition into teaching cursive very easy. Makes for beautiful handwriting. highly recommend. And I'll link what I can down in the description box for you. Easton has completed all the BJU handwriting. So from christianbook.com, I got him this cursive handwriting workbook for teens. Just some handwriting practice. It has some letter practice. There are some quotes to copy. I think there's some signature practice in here, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that when I was researching this. So that's what he'll do, and that'll be a nice quick little handwriting thing for them to start their mornings. Next, I wanted my 8th grader to be doing reading comprehension. I really wanted Easton to be doing reading comprehension. And so I started researching the Evan Moore books. And I liked what I saw. This will be our first time using these. You can buy a reproducible book and a teacher book, but it was significantly cheaper to just get the student practice book, and I didn't really feel like I needed the teacher book, and I don't need to make copies for a whole class or anything. He just needed his own book. So this is what I got. It has some passages and some questions that he should be able to do fairly quickly each day. So that's his. And while he's working on that, for Hudson, I got Explode the Code Book 5. We used these years ago. We haven't used them in a few years, but when I was looking on christianbook.com and I saw this, and that's where both of these came from, was christianbook.com. When I saw this, I was like, oh, let me get him that. He'll really enjoy it. The kids loved doing these. It almost didn't feel like schoolwork to them. They could do it pretty quickly. They enjoyed it. This is a phonics style workbook. It says Essential Lessons for Phonics Mastery. But just some real quick work pages that the kids have always enjoyed. Pretty simple, affordable. For language, this is another subject that we do daily. And Easton is going to do the Spectrum Language Arts Grade 8. Got this off christianbook.com. We have done these Spectrum workbooks before. With these, this isn't the style curriculum that's going to give you everything you should say as a teacher, as a parent, to teach it to your child. You're going to have to look at what they're doing. It does have some basic information teaching the topic, but very basic. You're going to have to sit down with them and teach them. It has an answer key in the back. BJU, their curriculum, one of the things I love about it is if you're a parent that really needs, this is how you teach this. This is what you say. It will give you word for word what to say to teach it if that's what you need. Some subjects I really like that, and some subjects I just want to sit down and explain it to them and us and get it done. And so I like these Spectrum workbooks for that. If you can look at the topic and guide your child along, teach it to them, then this is a really great tool. So Spectrum Language Arts Grade 8. Hudson's going to do the Language Arts Harcourt Language Arts Grade 5. A few years ago, we used some of these Harcourt books. So I understand how this is laid out. It's a lot like that Spectrum workbook in the sense that it gives very brief information about the topic and then work pages. So that's what he's going to do for language arts. Math is another topic we do daily. And the way we're going to do this year, and have done this in the past when it comes to online courses, both boys have one online course through BJU. And by online, I mean that there's a video that they get on and they watch. There's no live class, no certain time they have to be on every day or anything like that. But there's a video they get on and watch, a teacher online that teaches the topic, and they do their work pages. And we found that it works best for us to do one online course. So while Easton is doing his math online with BJU, he's going to be doing pre-algebra, and I have his book and the student handout. When you do it online, you don't get a teacher book. A lot of that information is online. A lot of the tests are online, but you can get on there and still see the teacher book, or you could order a separate teacher book if you wanted, but I haven't found that I needed it with the online courses. So while he's working on his pre-algebra, I can be working one-on-one with Huddy in his language. And then when Huddy gets online to do his math, I can work one-on-one with Easton with his language. Does that make sense? So it frees me up to sit down and teach this language that I was telling you that was going to need more from me teaching them. It frees me up to sit down one-on-one with them while the other is working on something online, and then switch. Huddy's going to be doing math 4, and I have his work text. Isn't it beautiful? BJU makes absolutely beautiful curriculum. I mean, look how beautiful. This one also comes with a manipulative packet that has different things he will use through the year. And his assessments, I have paper form. I am super excited about what we're doing for history this year. Super, super excited. Before we get into history and science, let me show you my teacher planner real quick because it's sitting here right beside me. So I'm going to show that to you and then set it to the side. For my teacher planner, well, for both planners that I'm going to be using, they're both Clever Fox. This is the teacher planner, and I chose this beautiful purple color. I think this comes in 3 sizes, one that's smaller than this and one that's larger than this. But I got the 7.9 inch by 10 inch. It is a hard cover. This paper just gives you an idea of how to fill out different things, like an example. There are some pages in the very front, like important dates. I can keep up with field trips and those kinds of things there. There's a communication log somewhere if you're a teacher, especially in a classroom. There it is. That can be handy. Student checklist if you need to keep up with attendance. Some graph paper. That's in the front and back. And then you get to your monthly spread, and they are undated. There are some stickers in this handy dandy pocket in the back. Teacher related stickers and stickers that you can use to date the monthly spread. And then when you get to the weekly spread, you can keep up with subjects down the side and then your days across the top. And what I'll do is say this says math, then I could put an H and write the lesson he did, an E and write the lesson he did, and just keep up with that across all the subjects. There's a note section, some extra graph paper here in the back, and that's what I'm going to use to keep up with our school things. You can also get, so this one is a spiral bound. You can get the regular, like the way these are bound. What do you call this? You can get that as well, but I definitely wanted spiral bound. I just really like that when it comes to my planners. So this is going to be for our school things, and then for work and family things, I'm going to use this one right here. This is the weekly planner binder. I got this one in black. And it's a nice soft leather. Looks very professional. Has a snap. There's a pocket on the inside. Now with my planners, I like for them to be pretty straightforward, especially when it comes to my teacher planner. With a personal planner, I think it's pretty neat to have some of these extras like a vision board, skills to learn, and habits to adopt, what I'm passionate about, all these things that you can think about and then actually write down on paper. Monthly review pages. So you can do what you want and leave what you don't want to do, but that's neat that those are included. Then you have your monthly spread. Again, it's undated, so you can start it when you want, fill it out how you want. And your week. Keep up with your things you got scheduled for the week. There's some extra things over here like goals and to-do list, habit tracker. Keep up with what days I exercise. So some extra things to think about and write down each week if you would like to. And then there's some dotted paper in the back. Some extra pockets. And this is what I'm going to be using to keep up with work things and family things, appointments, or ball schedules, all those kinds of things. Looks very nice, very professional. I've always been happy with my Clever Fox planners that I've used in the past. They're very good quality at a very good price. We're doing the Evan Moore history pockets. And I got all of them in grades 4 through 6. I know Easton's older than that, but it'll work. And this is something that we can sit down and do together. History and science, I always try to make as family subjects, something we can sit down together and do. And my kids love that too. They look forward to those subjects that we sit down as a family and do together. So the boys will be doing this together. I have a book for each of them and each of the topics. So I have the American Revolution, Colonial America, and then we'll do Moving West. And you can see on the front this pocket that they created. Here's another view on the back. And as you go through the lessons, you're making different things, whether it's bookmarks or cutting different things out, coloring things and cutting them out, whatever it might be. And then you're supposed to make a pocket out of construction paper that you're sliding your things into as you finish them. Instead of doing pockets, what we're going to do, and I got these from Amazon. Again, I'll link them. I'll link everything I can down in the description box. But what we're going to try is putting those things that we color, that we cut out, that we're making, creating, reading, working on. Instead of putting them inside of a pocket, we're going to glue them into these notebooks. Science is going to be a continuation of what we've been doing this year. I got both of these books this year. I didn't know if we would go through one, if we would go through both of them. And we decided to slow it down and go through one. We're going to finish up the Farm Anatomy book this year. I've made my own unit studies essentially. And we've read different things through here. Like I marked this page to show you. It's got chicken terms and parts of a rooster, and they might get their creation notebook out and draw a rooster and label the parts. We might watch some videos on YouTube about chickens, about different breeds of chickens, chicken coops, those kinds of things as we're learning about chickens. And I've made my own unit study that way. When I say creation notebook, every year I let the kids pick out their own notebook, and we use that to hold anything they need extra paper for, whether it's drawings for science, whether it's extra pages to work out math problems. They just want to grab some paper and draw a picture, or maybe they are working on something in writing where they need some extra paper, and we keep it all in one place. And then each year I can save that notebook. And instead of having a whole bunch of individual papers that I'm trying to save, everything is in that one notebook. So that's what a creation notebook is. They haven't picked that out yet. Once school supplies start rolling out in the store, I'll let them go pick out their own creation notebook for next year. Farm Anatomy is what we worked through this year. Next year, we're going to work through Nature Anatomy, and it has a lot about plants and insects, the anatomy of deciduous trees, mushrooms, animals in the neighborhood. So there's like a woodchuck, a raccoon, a skunk, a possum, and a mole, anatomy of a bat. So that's what we're going to work on next year. And there are several of these nature or these anatomy books. So I told you we have Farm Anatomy and Nature Anatomy. There's Ocean Anatomy. There's several. So if we move through this quickly, we can pick up a different one. These are also really great to just sit down and look through and read and have on your bookshelf. And online you can find unit studies that go along with these, but it's really not hard to do your own. Just do a little research, find some videos that go with the different topics, different projects that go with each topic. We've done some science experiments. There are even things inside of these books that you will find. This one, there's been several recipes. this herb blend for bread. We made that, and the kids helped make bread, and we put the herb blend in our bread. So there are different things like that throughout the books as well that you can incorporate into your school day. We really like these. And then as far as Bible this year, we are going to focus on our Sunday school curriculum. We have those books. It's beneficial to study them through the week to be ready to go into Sunday school class on Sunday. So instead of buying a separate curriculum for Bible, we're going to focus on studying the curriculum that we have for Sunday school. And it's Lifeway books that are age appropriate for each child in their Sunday school class is what we have. And that's what we'll use. We'll study our Sunday school lesson throughout the week. And that's what I decided to use for our upcoming 2025-2026 school year. We're finishing off this past school year, or this school year we're in. Right now we've got a month left, somewhere right around that. Then we'll take a little break for summer. We loosely follow the same schedule as the public school system because Audrey is in public school. That helps if we kind of follow that loosely. Here in Alabama, it is a wonderful state to homeschool in, and I don't have to submit any records as far as how many days we did each year or what subjects we teach or make a portfolio or do anything like that. Now, I do some of that for my own records just so that I have it, but we don't have to follow any kind of schedule. We loosely follow the public school system schedule though, and so we have about a month left, and then we'll take a break for summer, and then we'll get back started with this curriculum. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all. Let me go see what these kids are doing. I think somebody took a toy from somebody else. You know how that works.